I'm tired. Look, if you like the way your life is going, you like being a heavy drinker, you like heavy smoking. If you like being a heavy smoker and if you like being a heavy drinker, this is not for you. If you like the way your life is turning out right now and where your life is going, this is not for you. If you really don't want to make any changes at all and you're cool on all that personal transformation shit, this is not for you. Now let's be so for real. Be so for real. You don't want to admit that you have a problem. You don't want to admit to yourself that you could be doing better and you're choosing not to. You don't want to admit that it is so hard. You don't even trust yourself to do it. You don't even trust God to do it. You don't even believe in yourself enough to make shit happen. You don't want to admit that you're scared of losing friends and family and the people you hang around because you quit drinking and quit smoking or you scaled back on your habit. You don't want to admit that you are running away from something that happened to you. You are running away from the trauma and the issues that you've gone through. You are running away from that and you don't want to admit any of that. You don't want to admit it. You don't want to face it. You don't want to admit it. You keep telling yourself you're going to start Monday, you're going to start next week, you're going to start next month, you're going to start next full moon and set some intentions. That's bullshit. And just admit it. All you need to do is admit that you're not ready and you don't want to do the work that it takes, and that's cool. You're not ready and you don't want to do the work that it takes, and that's okay. I know what that's like. That's okay. You don't have to be ready. But what you need to do is stop bullshitting yourself, and you ain't damn for sure you ain't gonna bullshit me because it takes one to know one. Claiming, I'll start Monday, I'll start next week. If I could just get over all these things. I just get so stressed out. I need something to calm me down. I have all these issues going on with work and my family and these things that I just can't do it. Okay, then you can't do it. If you truly believe that, then you can't. Um, I, I can tell you about all my personal stories and all my bullshit and all the trauma that I've been through and the people that I've lost and the people that I've had to grieve and the people that have literally died. I can tell you about all the sexual assault and I can tell you about all the childhood trauma and I can tell you about the panic attacks, the anxiety attacks. I can tell you about the depression. I can tell you about smoking and drinking on the job while nobody was looking. I can tell you about doing the drugs on the job while nobody knew about it. I can tell you about showing up to work high, showing up to work drunk, working while I was high, working while I was drunk, being hungover. I can tell you about all the blackouts I've had. I can tell you about the scars I've had. I can tell you about this scar that I actually got from from being drunk and from drinking. I can tell you about all of that, but it doesn't even matter because what matters is your story. What matters is what you're going through. What matters is what you have been through. What matters is the work that you need to transform your life, the work that you need to do to transform your life. That's what matters. And if you're not ready and if you're not willing, there is not a single thing I can do for you. My 7-day reset program is only curated for the people who are ready and willing to do the work that it takes. My 7-day reset program is only made for the people who are ready, willing, and able to do what it takes, and for the people who are ready to admit that they have a problem, and for the people who are ready to admit they can't do it alone and they need God. That's who this is for. So, like, if that's not you, that's cool. Just admit it to yourself. You don't want to change your life and you're scared. You don't know what to do and you're scared, so you're just going to keep doing the same thing that you've been doing and it's only familiar, so you're just going to keep doing the familiar thing that you don't need to be doing. Just admit it. That's okay. Or you can admit that you have a problem. You can admit that you don't know what's going to happen. You could admit that a part of you doesn't even know if you're capable. You can admit that you're scared. You can admit that you don't want to face the things that you've been through, but you also don't want to be stuck. You can admit that, and you can ask for help, and you can ask for God to help you, and just admit that you feel powerless. Accept it and admit it. That's how that works. This isn't some AA culty bullshit. I've been to AA a couple times. It didn't work out for me. I didn't like the vibe. I thought it was fucking weird. This is not some Christian indoctrination shit either. I was raised Christian. I didn't like it. I didn't even believe in God until like less than what, like 10 years ago. So this is not that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about calling on a higher power that you cannot understand. You cannot lean on your own understanding. You cannot lean on your own willpower. If you're ready to admit that you have a problem, if you're ready to admit that you don't want to live the way you've been living, you don't even like yourself, you don't even like the shit you be doing and the people you be hanging around, if you're ready to admit all that and accept it and then do the work that's required, then this is for you. If you're not ready for that shit and you don't want to do that shit, you want to keep watching content, you want to keep watching videos, you want to keep reading and hearing the signs that God keeps sending you to quit drinking and to quit smoking, but you keep doing it anyway. You want to keep on seeing all the signs, but then you want to keep on doing the same things you've been doing over and over and over again, getting you the same results over and over and over again. If you want to keep doing all that, then that's cool, man. For real. Because I used to do it. I get it. I've been there. I know. I was a heavy smoker for years, smoking cigarettes, smoking weed, vaping. I was a heavy binge drinker for years. I have alcoholism on both sides of my family. I'm like the only nigga I know who's really doing the thing that I'm doing. I don't even talk to people in my family anymore like that because they be on that fuck shit. Respectfully, I was on the fuck shit too. I used to be drinking literally like a bottle of wine a night. I used to spend money on drugs that I'm not even going to talk about. Hint, hint, wink, wink. I used to be that person. I used to be that nigga. I used to be that degenerate person. I have the scars literally to prove it. I have the bruises to prove it. I have the stories to prove it. I don't even have the pictures and the videos to prove it because I was so fucked up that my phone got fucked up. And I had to get a new phone. And only thing I had was on Snapchat, and that's gone too. And the people I used to hang around, I don't even hang around them anymore. So even if they did have pictures and videos, I don't even talk to them anymore. So I don't have, I don't, I don't have the receipts that people like to see just to prove that I can do the thing that I have been doing for years now. What I have is my personal experience and what I know for damn sure. What I have is years of trauma, working through my trauma, and being on the other end of that. Like, the longer you put off the work that needs to happen, the longer you insist on lying to yourself, the longer you insist on being in denial, the worse it's going to get. You can hit a rock bottom and another rock bottom and another rock bottom, but you got to keep trying. Sometimes it takes just one of those days that'll make you snap and realize that you needed that wake up call and a fucking reality check, and you really can't even keep lying to yourself like that anymore, fam. You can't. Sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes you do need the extreme, and if that's you, that's cool. Sometimes you need multiple extremes. If that's you, that's cool. Sometimes you just wake up and you are just fucking tired of your shit, and if that's you, that's cool. I have been all of those people in various ways over several years. Look, if you're going to be that person who keeps talking shit, but you don't want to make the work happen, if you're going to be that person who keeps on saying the same damn thing, doing the same damn thing, talking about the same shit, then you can just keep scrolling. You can just keep scrolling. If you're going to be the person who's actually willing to make a difference and have the courage to do something different, and be brave enough and bold enough and do it scared anyway, and do it fearful anyway, and do it when you don't even have all the clarity and all the answers anyway. If you are that person, what are you waiting for? All it takes is making the decision to change your life over and over and over again. It takes that decision and that devotion and that commitment to making a transformation for yourself. That is all it takes. And you keep showing up with that, even if you don't know, if you don't have anything else but that, but you know for damn sure you've decided, I'm going to change my life. I can't do this. I'm sick of my shit. That is all it takes. That's all you need to keep going. That is all you need to keep going. But if you don't, if you want to stay stuck, man, if you want to stay stuck, then stay stuck. When you're calling it a new identity, you have to do things differently. You have to take a chance. You have to do it scared. You have to do it confused. You have to do it without all the answers. You have to do it not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel yet. That's all you need. When you're calling in a new identity, you have to do things like you have never done them before. You have to call in a new version of yourself and know that a new version of yourself is possible. I don't know who needed to hear it, but God told me to say that, and I'm doing my best to be obedient this season. And when I get the downloads and the messages and the channels, I just start recording because I told God I would do that shit. God told me to get sober. I didn't want to do it, but I did it anyway. And I kept trying over the years. God told me to get sober and to help other people. I didn't want to, but I did it anyway. God told me that in order to access my greatest potential in this lifetime, then I had to be sober. I didn't want to do it, but I did it anyway. I didn't think I could do it, but I did it anyway. I didn't think it was possible. Nobody around me was doing it, but I did it anyway, and I made it happen, and now here I am. So my point to you is, you don't have to see what it's going to look like next month, next season, next year. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. And even if you can't believe in yourself enough, what you can do is admit, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I barely believe in myself, but God, just help me. That is all it takes. That is all it takes. I don't know who needed to hear that today, but that was my channel message for the collective. So I hope it helps. I hope it helps somebody. And if you feel like you need help, you don't know where to start, find the link. My 7-day sobriety reset program. It is the culmination of everything I've fucking been through and the work and the tools that I have gained over the years to help people get sober, to help people quit drinking, to help people quit smoking, to help people process their bullshit, process their emotions, and rewire your nervous system and rewire your brain. You're calling it a new identity. You don't know how it works yet. You need the tools at your disposal to figure out how that works. And that's what this is. And if you made it this far, you're a real one.